So devblog 33 dropped on October 30th, and let's just say it hasn't piqued the interest of every player on the game. I'll be real with you, I'll have a little screen recording in the background of what devblog 33 has to offer, and it's literally kit vending machines and kit purchasing, so basically vending machines tailored towards kits, and basically a lot of things to do with community servers. However, this is something I covered on my TikTok as well, is that we had the Hazmat skin. At first I thought it was a metal faceplate or a metal chest plate because I'd looked and brightened up the image of this before putting it on TikTok, and I saw there was a chin strap. However, someone in the comments had a big brain moment and saw that there was a air tank, which is basically on every single Hazmat skin that we have. And that was pretty much devblog 33. And everyone thought, well, where's the quality of life update? I mean, you had Jade Monkey talking about it, you had myself talking about it, and we've basically just been blue balls. Now, as a keyboard warrior, I took to Twitter to vocalize my frustration. And I said in response to the Rust Console Twitter account basically saying that devblog 33 was live, I said, when will there be any updates for the quality of life within November? And they replied saying, stay tuned for November updates in November. That was just the most sarcastic backhanded comment I've probably ever received from them. And to be honest with you, I did find it funny. I didn't take it personal. The thing is with this comment is that when you say to people we're going to have it in November, people, you know, think, oh yeah, it's going to be at the start of November. Sometimes we have it midway through the month. We have a devblog. Highly unlikely. I think this would just be the end of November, which is kind of annoying because when you say there's updates coming in November, sure, it's in November, but it's the back end of the month. That's my guess. It's going to come at the back end of November. However, we have had updates come midway through a month, so you know, whatever way you want to take it, you can take it that way. But I think that the back end of that month is when we're going to be getting a devblog, depending on how ready the update is, because if it's fully ready, then why not upload it, or at least upload it, launch it on the game a little earlier. So rightfully so, a lot of people were angry. I had some comments saying you're just waffling, you're just spouting shit, and to be honest with you, I do apologize that I'm talking about such updates with high prestige and like, oh, they could be coming like helis, cars, anything of that nature, and we get absolutely nothing. Sure, it still could come within the quality of life update, touching upon big updates like that, depending on how ready they are, but I do apologize that nothing, absolutely nothing came of this devblog whatsoever apart from a Hazmat skin. Now, to be honest with you, and I don't say this often, D11 actually had a very successful skin store rotation. We have here the Plague Doctor Hazmat, which looks fairly cool to be fair. Am I going to pick up any of these, by the way? No. If I do play the game, just kill people and pick it up the cheapest way possible. We have the Infected Veteran Infected Collection. I like this a lot. Really cool. Nice chest plate and basically nice everything. It's kind of what you expect from a Halloween skin. Then you have the Blossoms and Bones. To be honest, don't like this whatsoever, but if you like it, you like it. And then you have the glow in the dark, I believe, guns, especially the MP5 and the AK. Has such a nice AK skin. The thing is though, is that they look so good in these photos because obviously Photoshop and shit like that, but when they go into the game it just doesn't look as good. I don't know if you feel the same, but kind of just takes you for a ride when you look in the skin store and you see those sort of designs, and then in game it's just not the same. So we're coming towards the end of the Halloween update or the Halloween event, which will be ending on November 7th, and then from then on I don't know if we have maybe a devblog after that's ended because they update us on what's coming. However, what we're going to see from the quality of life update, one thing I think we're going to see is something that has been added to PC Rust recently, and that is the return of the anvil rocks and shit like that. I think Rust PC have had a return of the anvil rocks. They've had something from like the OG days of Rust that was taken out, now put back in, and I think we're going to be getting something along the lines of that. Because do you remember building bases on rocks like that? You don't really see many rock bases anymore, but hell, if you were in like 2022, early 2023, or even before 2022, you will know that the amount of rock bases people built, and that were really somewhat unraidable, was insane. And this was pre-rock or inside the rock glitch. But the main source of news is that unless they have something really good for us in terms of how well something is going in, like for testing, let's say for example sakes helis, you know, we could hear about it in this new devblog, and I guess I could ramble on and say this for this month and this for next month, but really at this moment in time those are the big updates that the game has going for it, and there's only so much time that they can put work into these updates because of how long I guess the game's been out for, and we still haven't got these sorts of things such as air transportation and cars. But quality of life, back to that, I think we're going to be getting higher pop servers, at least 125. There was something wrong with it. I believe there was a testing glitch that Pedro mentioned when I mentioned 125, 150 player. I think he said it just takes up too much like optimization or performance for the consoles. Again, this really wouldn't be an issue if we were just doing new gen only. I don't know how many times I need to say this, but they're just shooting themselves in the foot. Every game is going towards new gen only. It's literally how we moved from the 360 to the Xbox One. So people that are moaning, look, I would moan from the hills and back if I could play on Xbox 360 again. The controller, the console, the menu screens, all of that was so good, so far better than what we have right now. But hey, that's life. We can't go back to the Xbox 360, same way we shouldn't be going back to old gen consoles. We're going to be evolving, and the consoles are only getting better. With that said, one console I own is the Xbox Series S, and that one is holding back a lot of performance-based stuff because it's not the best new gen console. So if we're going to actually play on new gen only, we're not going to have a much better experience if the likes of the lower end PS5 and the lower end Xbox, being the Xbox Series S. So really, we can only gain so much with these consoles. So it's basically the back end PS5 or the lower end PS5 and the lower end Xbox. When that's gone, then really we'll be having a propelled gaming experience. At least 125 player pop, and then I would say a bigger map. Those two I really want to happen because that opens up a lot more doors for community server owners. And also alongside with these things and just texture updates and shit like that, making it better for both consoles, again it opens up the doors for bigger updates. Now, one I haven't even mentioned is Excavator, and if we remember like an old video, you're an OG if you remember this, is when I started speaking about Excavator coming to Rust console. Again, all of these updates are going to come, it's just when they're going to come, how accurate is it going to be? And I would like to say I'm more than 80% accurate on the updates. I do say, you can look back on the TikTok, basically at one point I was just known as a newsman, but I don't think we're going to be getting cars. If we get cars and bigger maps, then hey ho, fair play. But I think bigger maps and bigger player pop is something that we should be getting. Something that, you know, isn't a huge update, but is very much needed. Because 100 pop with 3.5k maps, I don't think you can go any higher in terms of, you know, map size, keeping the same pop. I think if you go to 4k and keep 100 players, you're just going to have dead servers, not going to lie. You're going to have to be running from grid to grid to do shit. And it's just not worth it whatsoever. But if we get bigger maps specifically, then we're on the right road to getting bigger updates, because the more area we have to cover within a map, that means the chances of a bigger update or a bigger monument if that was to come. But I don't want to repeat what I've already been saying for the past however months, because obviously it'll be bleeding your ears, is that we have helis that have been in testing for years now, or in 2022 that we know of, and then cars. I mean, if you've got horses going, you can easily get cars going, and that will come with a monument being junkyard. And for all of these to happen, you need bigger maps. And for bigger maps, you also need a bigger player pop so it doesn't die or get tedious just running around the map looking for players to gain loot of. Also, on a quick note, let's talk about cheating, because I haven't really covered cheating within this game in a couple videos now, I'd like to think. And has it changed? No, not really. It's kind of something that it just is what it is. I used to be a huge advocate back in the day talking about how cheating this, cheating that, and suddenly I make a joke about cheating and boom, I am banned from the Discord and the game itself. Something I'll always talk about because it is, quite frankly, a fucking joke. However, I digress. There's like two groups of people that you have within Rust console. You have those that are like, cheating's this, cheating's that, what, you know, we should be talking about an anti-cheat, trying to get one in. And then you have other people that are like, yeah, mate, just get good. Like, just get good. I would say 95% of the people that said that I've come across on TikTok, YouTube, in-game, they are cheating themselves. There's no way, if you know you're going up against cheaters and you're a legit controller, if they're on a mouse and keyboard specifically, and they're decent, but you're really good on control, if they're decent on a mouse and keyboard, you know, there's 9 times out of 10 you're not really winning that fight unless you have really good experience, game sense, and they haven't. It's something that I don't think is going to change for quite a while. So It's whether you want to keep on moaning about it and trying to keep on getting an anti-cheat, whether I can ask this question to Pedro, or I can ask it to Rustzilla as he's now doing the dev blogs. It's something I could probably ask and see if they're obviously still in the works. I might get an obvious answer and they can't really, talk about it much, but I guess it's something to feed you guys just to keep you in the loop. But something I want to make for a video is to talk upon whether mouse and keyboard should be compatible with the console version of Rust. Let me know what you guys think. Are you for or against this idea? Leave in the comment section below. That'll probably be my next video, just really talking thoroughly about weighing up the pros and cons, whether it should or it shouldn't. As always, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new around here, and thank you for the ongoing support. We are at currently 4.9 thousand. That's pretty crazy. 5,000 subscribers we're about to hit. Thank you for the support. Take it easy. See you in the next one.